about how it actually plays yet, but certainly a compelling debut, I would say. And speaking of compelling,
sorry für die technischen Probleme. Ist total Internet abgekackt.
Brian, Adam, gentlemen, welcome to the program. It's so great to have you here.
Es wurde nochmal das Spiel Dreams gerade vorgestellt nochmal.
Closing out some of the show there with
Klasse.
Marvel Spider-Man. How does it feel?
It's surreal. We've been working on it for a while, so it's
Ja,
nice
das
to
macht Laune.
be here. And obviously, we showed you. People wanted villains, so we decided we'll give you a lot of villains. And now, and the next question is, can we play the open world? And Adam's gonna show off the New York City.
I mean, I don't know, Sid. What do you think?
Let's dive in.
Yeah,
what are we talking about here?
Yeah.
Get in there.
We're gonna boot up the demo here, and this is essentially one of the first playable demos that you guys are gonna be showing off.
Yeah,
of Spider-Man.
Pretty much. So I mean, if you think about,
Go ahead, Adam.
Yes, the game is. You know, a lot of people were like, last year's E3 was like, well, was that like just a linear level? No, like that was our Manhattan, that's our New York City, and it happened to be on like a main story edition. But in between, like things like you saw in the raft, or we showed that back at last E3, you can just swing around.
Ja, waren ein paar gute Spiele dabei, muss ich sagen.
Let's go to that footage because we have it running here on the main monitor. We'll go to it in just a second. This is the beauty of the live.
Die ganzen Mikrofone, alles kackt hier ab, ey. Sowas von schön.
Ja,
Spider-Man.
He's doing a fantastic job so far. It's been really good.
Der Turm, der passt gerade nur.
Ja,
Spider-Man war ganz geil. Last of Us war mega. Grafisch echt geil. Auf alle Fälle Kingdom Hearts hat mich geil. Spider-Man, Kingdom Hearts, Last of Us, das waren so jetzt die Highlights. Ich hätte jetzt noch drauf gehofft, dass jetzt eine PlayStation 5 oder ein Update von der PlayStation 4 Pro vielleicht vorgestellt wird. Da hätten sie noch was vielleicht mal zeigen können. Vielleicht kommt da ja noch was auf der eigenen Messe von PlayStation. Vielleicht wird da ja was noch vorgestellt. Das machen die ja auch nochmal.
You know, Adam is he's one of our combat pro players because he's a combat designer, and he's showing off some really awesome stuff that as you get better with the game, obviously, you know, we wanted to have a
das Ninja-Spiel, wo das Humor abgekackt ist, sah auch recht okay aus. War jetzt nicht schlecht. Aber es war ein bisschen mau, muss ich sagen. Ich hätte jetzt ein bisschen mehr gedacht, dass da ein bisschen noch mehr kommt, aber es war jetzt nicht so der Hit. Er war nicht schlecht, aber
there's a lot of that. There's that sandbox
mehr sein
as well. So I mean, obviously you can, you know, we're going to teach you mechanics, but we want you to experiment with, you know, his acrobatics, his web, his gadgets, his suit powers. So combining all that stuff really allows for a lot of different gameplay and a lot of, you know, Spider-Man's a very expressive character. We want players to be able to express that, whether it's in traversal or in combat.
It's gorgeous.
These animations, these animations are just blowing my mind.
Your studio has kind of been renowned for character animation and for, you know, just fluid motion. I mean, did you guys take a lot of lessons from your previous games and really like hone in on those when you were developing this?
I mean, I think animation's definitely been one of the hallmarks of our company. You know, from Spyro to Ratchet to Sunset Overdrive. And I mean, you know, I remember when the Sunset Overdrive reviews came out, one person actually
Frage ist, wie sie es zu steuern lässt. Also, es gab noch ein paar Spider-Man-Teile, die waren ja von der Steuerung Katastrophe. Unser Lieblingsteil ist immer noch der auf der PlayStation 2.
And we just injected our personality, but also, you know, what do people
ja, ihr könnt ja mal in die Kommentare reinschreiben, was hat euch an Spielen gefallen? Auf was habt ihr gehofft, was noch vorgestellt wird, kommt? Weil man das, jetzt waren ja nur die exklusiven Titel, so wie ich jetzt gesehen habe. Ja, es war alles exklusiv. Aber jetzt nichts von der Stange irgendwie dabei.
And I love this traversal, I mean just the fluidity of just moving over
Auf alle Fälle, Battlefield sah gut aus, das ist auch sehr nice, Battlefield 5.
Okay, so so you know how I kind of said like experimenting, but like sometimes, you know, I mean, game development, we're in meetings a lot, and then sometimes you like take a break. And what I used to find myself doing was just swinging around New York City. It was almost like therapeutic.
Ich denke mal, der große Hit bei Sony wird dann Last of Us 2 werden.
I just walking or running or even taking a car, it feels so more natural now.
Aber es wird bestimmt nicht einfach werden.
Swing around like Spider-Man. So
nicht schwere Passagen.
It's definitely one of those things that has that again, just like combat.
Ich bin mal gespannt, ob ich Kingdom Hearts auf alle Fälle bis zum dritten Teil alle Teile durchkriege.
So Adam showed off. I think he showed off the tripwire. It's basically a gadget that you can either attach to piece of geometry, and the enemies walk by, they'll get like grabbed and sucked back. But you can also attach it to an enemy, and if an enemy walks by, they kind of slam into each other.
That is amazing. This is so cool. What's this focus meter about?
Yeah, so the focus meter is basically, it's kind of a risk reward. As you build focus, you can use it to heal.
Sid's having a religious
experience. It just looks incredible.
Okay, thank you. The team works really, really hard on it. Really, really hard.
Clearly.
And the idea is the focus is kind of a way to, it's a risk reward. Like I said, you can either heal yourself, or you can kind of, if you fill up the bar a certain way, you can actually pull off a finishing move. So, you know, as you play the game, you can kind of say, well, do I want to maybe heal myself real quick, or do I want to wait for that really extravagant move to kind of take the guy out instantly?
Obviously, Spidey has, with his experience being under the mask for so many years now,
in
8 years. Story, 8 years.
Jetzt bin ich aber gespannt, wer jetzt zur Hilfe bei Spider-Man rauskommt.
One of the first questions I get is like, is in the origin story? I'm like, no. That was like after we decided that the webs were definitely attached to the buildings. We decided it's not going to be an origin story.
But you know, back to the combat. I mean, Spidey's experience. He has access to a lot of different techniques and technologies. How do you balance out his experience with the fact that you don't want to overwhelm a player with options, right? You want to make it approachable.
You know, I really that comes down to our combat team, our traversal team,
like
and
this guy right here,
like Adam, and really going, okay, you know, kind of handing that stuff out over the course of the game. You know, finding those right spots where you kind of, okay, we're going to teach you how to punch and how to kick and how to punch guys up in the air and use your webs. But then we layer on things like gadgets and then the suits and the suit powers. And it's kind of giving over time. If we just, you know, one thing with something like E3, you know, we want you to feel great, right? But there's a lot to learn really quickly. So just, you know, normal course development, we kind of find those spots in the game where it makes most sense to teach those mechanics. And then as the game goes on, we want you to master those because the game's only going to get harder.
Yeah, absolutely.
Die ganze E3 jetzt dieses Jahr
I
war
gotta
nicht
say, this game is looking absolutely gorgeous. This is.
Ich habe irgendwie so auf einen großen Knaller irgendwie gehofft.
But this is on a totally different
level. Beyond Good and Evil sah mega aus. Also davon hätte ich am liebsten gerne irgendwie eine Serie. Von der Optik her und so als Serie könnte ich mir das richtig geil vorstellen. Vielleicht kriege ich ja den ersten Teil, zock den ersten Teil und dann den zweiten.
Just we are very honored to be, and we know there's a certain level of polish that people expect from a PlayStation game, especially a first-party game. So we want to be considered right up there.
Well,
and not to mention also from the Marvel, you know, Marvel fans expect to have that perfect experience.
Of course.
May I just ask real quickly, you know, as we're starting to wind down here, from a personal perspective, I mean, what's it like for you and for the team to be able to kind of look up at the big screen and see your game after all that time, all that work?
I'm known as a crier, so it takes a lot for me not to get choked up. Like right now, they're playing the theme song to the game in the background as we're sitting here, and I mean, this is an amazing industry, and to be part of it is one thing, but to work on something you truly love is something that when you were a little kid thinking, oh my god, could I ever work on a Spider-Man game, let alone be in video games.
Ich denke mal, das Spiel wird richtig gut werden. Vielleicht kommt da jetzt auch nochmal eine Demo irgendwie zu dem Spiel, dass man es mal antesten kann. Wenn die Steuerung gut ist, dann denke ich mal, werde ich das mir holen. Es scheint richtig gut aus. Scheint zu bocken.
Incredible. I mean, there's no other word for it. And
you're flabbergasted.
I really am. It's stunning. I mean, just look at that. How can you not be blown away by that? But we do have a limited amount of time here, Brian. You're an industry veteran. You've been in the industry for a long time. I know this is a lifelong dream for you working on this game. And I want to thank you and Insomniac for making it and for coming by as well.
Spider-Man was so awesome that it broke my mic, and I have to use the stick mic now.
I thought you just wanted to look different from all of us.
Yeah, I just wanted to stand out a little bit. But you know, Sid, actually, I think a little earlier we were able to maybe get some footage of some of the amazing experiential stuff that's going on with Spider-Man. Right?
I mean, there really is something incredible going on here at this PlayStation E3 showcase. I mean, it's on a scale and a scope that we have just never seen before. And so we have people here that are playing the game. We have a lot of hands-on sessions for folks that are here for the showcase. And the game looks great, but I just love the way this whole, I know her.
Oh, there's familiar faces popping up on the stream.
But I mean, it's a great event here, and it's just, I wish we could get everybody in here to try this out and to just see what has been sort of constructed with Spider-Man and with actually another game we're about to talk about.
Yeah, we're about to talk about Ghost of Tsushima.
Why don't you? Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah.
We have some. We sneakily snuck on a few amazing people onto our program as the helicopter goes by to mark this. Nate Fox and Jason Connell to my left and Nate Fox. Gentlemen, welcome. Thank you so much for coming over.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having us.
Yeah. It's really good for you to be here, and I'm so glad you're able to give us some of your time. Yeah. Can I just ask, kind of what we were just talking about with the team from Insomniac, what's it like for you as individuals and as developers to be able to kind of be a part of
Resistance wäre geil. Oder mal remastered from Resistance.
It's amazing. I mean, you try so hard to make a video game that you can get lost in, and then to come to E3 where they actually build your game. It's kind of a dream come true that way.
Yeah. How about you?
Oh man, it's amazing. You know, people are excited. You know, you see all the other projects, and everybody's just stoked about all the different games that are up there, and you know, we put a lot of heart and soul into it, so it's just that moment where it shows it is just great. So
I think we should show it because we have some of the footage.
I think we do have a little bit of footage hanging around here, so let's check it out if we can.
Absolutely. It's just hanging around.
It's just doing its thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this game, first of all, just gorgeous. I mean, the art direction is really coming through in an incredible way. But also the technical sophistication as well. I mean, we're going to see here in a minute. Here we go. There we go. Get into some combat.
Yeah, we have some highlights from the showcase just showing off for the first time.
Look at this. Look at this look. I mean, this is gorgeous.
Look at this look.
I don't know what else to say about it. I'm flabbergasted.
And maybe, I don't know, Nate or Jason who wants to take this, but it seems like in these moments of gameplay, there's small vignettes of like a classic samurai.
Wenn das sowas ähnliches ist wie Dark Souls und Co. nach einem Schlag tot, das ist dann nichts für mich. Da kriege ich dann Frust beim Zocken.
Must all be very intentional, I can only assume.
It is an orchestra. You know, like you got to take all these elements, and for even that opening attack, that EI attack, it's about building space before it, having the leads go by, the drum up of music beforehand, and that's what makes it really powerful.
How do you coordinate all those systems?
Like we run in strike teams. You know, we got a lot of multidisciplinary, awesome people working on it. So
yeah, but I mean, you watch a lot of samurai movies, man. I mean,
that's the real answer, actually.
Yeah. I mean, there's that quiet before the storm. It's pretty key to the genre. So just trying to make it real in a video game is our goal.
And I know that authenticity is something that's tremendously important to your entire studio in this game. Do you want to share a little bit about some of the steps, the great steps that your team took through creating that?
Yeah, I feel like we're in a super unique position because we're part of Sony. We have J Studio. We have be a producer on our project from J Studio. We hired some cultural guides. Like I feel like we're in this unique position to help us create this thing. Oh, the Shoji screen, that one's a popular one.
This knocked me off.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, that's interrupt worthy right there.
Okay, so can we talk a little bit maybe about how you're approaching the sword play? Yeah. I think that's a really interesting concept here. Like, you don't have to get too far into it. I know the game's still deep in development, but tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we're going for lethal precision, where there's not a lot of wasted energy.
Groben und Ganzen hat's mich bis jetzt noch nicht so umgehauen.
And so every strike, could end a life. So you want to make sure that
Kingdom Hearts
count. Yeah. I mean, right now we're allowing characters to kind of circle each other.
Sehr drauf.
It's not just kind of a furball, right?
Die anderen Spiele,
we brought in experts to kind of show us how to do it.
And it shows.
It looks like maybe your team spent 400 years making this one scene. I mean, that's the thing that I would like our audience to remember is that every leaf, every flicker of flame has to be handplaced by someone at some point in time, unless you have a giant machine AI do it all.
Und ja, ich hoffe, es hat euch gefallen. Leider keine PlayStation 5. Schade eigentlich. Hätte mich schon gefreut.
The lethal combat.
Oder zumindest das Update von der PlayStation Pro, vielleicht mit 4K-Laufwerk. oder ein bisschen mehr Rechenleistung. Vielleicht eine neue VR-Brille, irgendwas in der Art hätte mich jetzt noch gefreut.
Thank you guys. Thank you for being a part tonight.
Oh yeah. Ghost of Tsushima looking mighty impressive, and
should we look at some of that
stuff? Ich denke mal, da wird jetzt
there's
nicht
a
mehr
whole
groß
experience
passieren.
here built out for folks who are here at the PlayStation E3 showcase, and we're gonna get a little footage of that here. Oh, here we go. There we go. Look at this. So this was was that period of time. I know some of these people. This is the period of time when earlier on, when we had that intermission, we had to make a little bit of time for folks to walk from one part of the experience to the next. So you're seeing shots of that right now. Very just special, intimate, and beautiful.
Gorgeous.
For folks to walk through there. Again, I wish we could just open the doors for 10 million people to come in here and just kind of get this all up close and personal.
10 million people might
be more
than this venue can handle.
The fire marshal may have an issue with that, but it really is something else.
Haut euch alle und deswegen haben wir eine PlayStation 4 alle. Xbox hatte ja auch relativ viel vorgestellt, aber das waren ja alle Spiele, die wieder auch auf dem PC, PlayStation und Co. kommen. Es sind nicht nur exklusive Titel. Und ja, Ubisoft war auch recht okay, Square Enix. Alle hatten ein bisschen was Gutes dabei, was für einen interessieren könnte.
Welcome to the program.
Thank you for having us. Yeah,
it's crazy. It is our great pleasure. I want to point out, and correct me if I'm wrong,
zeigen die jetzt
the
mal
little
Little Big Planet
interstitials we were seeing were all created
Dreams
inside Dreams.
That's right. So we just we had no idea what they were going to be shown with the games. So Resident Evil, and then we get to do a little trumpet.
A little celeries, and then it's Death Stranding.
No greater line pairing than Resident Evil and the fart trumpet.
Könnte geil werden.
I mean, and we had the final word, right? The orange drummer.
Die Story genau interessieren,
aber
es dauert
your viewers want a name of fruit. That would be awesome.
Great. But yeah, it was really fun because the thing about Dreams is it's really fast to create these little sort of stories and games.
Ja.
And so when we got the
Ich hoffe, es hat euch gefallen, Freunde. Like das Video, teilt das Video. Ihr kennt ja diese etc. Falls euch das gefallen hat heute, wird wahrscheinlich nicht das letzte Mal sein, dass jetzt sowas in der Art kommt. PC ist ja für mich wieder Neuland. Ich danke auch an meinen Kollegen Max. Guckt mal bei Bronze Art weiter. Der hat mir geholfen, dass das hier so halbwegs läuft. Für mich ist es ja totales Neuland.
Well, quite frankly, it's absolutely astonishing.
Ja, ich würde jetzt denke ich mal pennen gehen. Ich denke mal, es wird jetzt nicht weiterkommen. Ich danke fürs Reinschauen, für alle, die reingeguckt haben, vor allem den einen tapferen Zuschauer, der bis wirklich in die Mitte, bis zum technischen Problem und vielleicht danach weitergeguckt hat, aber war ganz okay. Ich wünsche euch noch einen schönen Abend, morgen. Macht's gut, auf Wiedersehen. Tschüss.